The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Why, a happy Monday night to you. My name is Ron Juckett, and we welcome you to Retro Sports' exclusive presentation of the 1982 postseason, starting tonight from Montreal. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. The Montreal Expos, 100-game winners in the East against the National League East against the Los Angeles Dodgers, 100-game winners, or 104-game winners in the National League West. A couple of things before we actually get into the game. Because we played as played schedules, the Expos threw their aces over the weekend when they were well out of the race in real life. So Montreal starts the playoffs without their National League Cy Young Award winner Steve Rogers or Charlie Lee available in Game 1. You're going to see Scott Sanderson, who went 14-11, pitch for the Expos because the Game 1 was 2 days after the end of the regular season, and there just wasn't enough time. So we might see Charlie Lee go on 3 days rest tomorrow against Fernando Valenzuela. Jerry Royce is on the hill for the Dodgers. Remember, the Dodgers went down to the wire in real life and was beaten by Joe Morgan and the San Francisco Giants. So the Dodgers in real life had to burn their starting rotation all the way around. But Jerry Royce has enough rest, and we expect to see Fernando Valenzuela go in Game 2. If not, Fernando and Steve Rogers will pitch Game 3 on Thursday at noon from Los Angeles. But that's a big if. We'll see what the stats are, pitch counts are for that. So it's Scott Sanderson and Jerry Royce in Game 1. Now, I will manage the Expos in Game 1 and 2. If the series is split going to Los Angeles, I will manage the Dodgers in Game 3 like I do everything else as the home team. But if we get to the point where we have elimination games, and that will happen at some point, sooner than later, then I will pull pitchers for the visiting team when I feel they're getting pounded to give the visitors a chance to win the game. Now, if you're new to the replay, first time here, you're going Los Angeles and Montreal did not play in the National League Championship Series in 1982. You are right. They did not. It was the Atlanta Braves and St. Louis Cardinals. But the Braves, we just did a full season replay using Action PC Baseball over the last 28 weeks, and the Dodgers ran away with the National League West by 14 over Atlanta, and Montreal won by a healthy margin over Philadelphia. The Cardinals finished at 82-80 and 18 games out. So this is what the National League Championship Series for my replay, not a true sim replay of that actual NLCS. Drop the rosters down to 25, and I think we are pretty much ready to go for the National League Championship Series right here on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents the National League Championship Series tonight from Olympic Stadium in Montreal, it is the Montreal Expos, the champions of the East, against the Los Angeles Dodgers, champions of the West, in a best-of-5 series. Jerry Royce versus Scott Sanderson, brought to you by Patreon. You can give me a tip at patreon.com/Retro Sports Network. And as we bring in the chat, we can now talk game stories as played, so both teams use their hard lineups all the way around. The Expos are the surprise team in these playoffs. They did not have a tremendous 1982 season. I believe they finished third in the National League East, but they come in 101 game winners, I think. They rolled through Philadelphia, and finally on this October 5th, 1982. They now have a chance with Jim Fanning as their manager to try to come back from last year, because this is a rematch of last year's our National League Championship Series. The Dodgers winning in 5 right here in this building against the Expos on Blue Monday. The Dodgers, no World Series hangover here. They steamrolled through the National League West. They won over 104 games, I think. And the final division margin was 14 over Atlanta. Remember, in real life, it was a three-team soiree all the way through. So the Dodgers with Jerry Rice and Scott Sanderson for the Expos, a late decision because Uncle Ron scheduled it 1 day earlier to match real time. And that's what we got as we get set for baseball here in Montreal. And as you see the field, I missed some of the people in the chat. Bobby Catalano, how are you? Tribes fan Randy Luxembourg will be watching this along with the Rays and Red Sox. Al, Red Sox fan, how are you? He had a wonderful fight tonight. So these, of course, cannot be as-played lineups because there was no this series didn't really happen. So let's start with the Dodgers lineup. Steve Sachs will lead off and play second base. Kenny Landreau will play center field and bat second. Pedro Guerrero is in right. He'll bat third. Dusty Baker cleans up in left for the Dodgers. Ron Cey is at third. He'll bat fifth. Steve Garvey, the first baseman, bats sixth for Los Angeles. Bill Russell is at short. He'll bat seventh. Mike Scioscia, the catcher, will bat eighth. And Jerry Royce, who somehow is on full rest, will pitch for the Dodgers and bat ninth. How you do at ID and baseball demos? Montreal will line up like this. Tim Raines is in left. He's a 4 and a 4. Andre Dawson is in center field. He's a 10 and a 5. A Woolworth player, if you will. Roaring Cromartie gets a start despite the lefty on the mound. He's a 7 and a 9. Tim Wallach is at third to start the infield. He's a 7. Chris Spire is a 6 at second, or short. Doug Flynn an 8 at second. Al Oliver is 6 at first, and Gary Carter behind the plate is a 10 and a 7. Scott Sanderson is an 8 on the mound. Now, in the replay, he went 14 and 11, and it's not a bad choice to be a Game 1 starter. An ERA of 3.59, but if you can see that whip at 1.187, and only allowed 201 hits in 220 and 2/3 innings. Against the Dodgers, he made 3 starts, but he lost them all. So it's questionable why, but you got to go with the freshest starter. 24 innings, 20 hits, 14 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 18 strikeouts. The Dodgers didn't hit well off him, but they put a 5.25 ERA up. Steve Sachs, on the replay, hit, 239, 6 homers, and 87 RBI. And somehow I lost the replay stats doing that. Expos will play for the bunt. Remember, we have a dome here, so the weather does not affect it. We're finally ready at 7:08. Sanderson deals, and it's ball 4 to Sachs. Steve didn't bunt. Kenny Landreau at the plate. Landreau at 260, 7 homers and 50 RBI. If you look at his real numbers, it's a match in homers and RBI. Throw to first. Sachs is back. So Landreau waves it back and forth. Sanderson deals. And there's a little nubber down to Oliver. Did he try to bunt that? Nope. He tags Landreau for the out. So it was a sacrifice attempt and it fails. Steve moves to second. 1 out for Pedro Guerrero, who in the real year hit .304, 32 homers and 100 RBI. We'd love to have Bobby Catalano join our Dungeons and Dragons deal. That would be so awesome. So Guerrero, 32 homers on the real season. 37 and 119 RBI in the replay, hitting .303. Did not hit well down the stretch. 1 out, Sacks on second. Line drive to Spire, and that's an out. 2 out for Dusty Baker. I'm not going to go through and show all the simulated stats. Just takes too long. Baker in the real 82 hit .300, 23 homers, and 88 RBI. He had a magnificent 1982 replay. Sanderson 2 out. Delivers. Fly ball left center. Back goes Dawson way back there. He's going to run and make the catch to retire the side. A leaping catch against the wall. And the Dodgers go down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books. Dodgers nothing. Here come the Expos. And let's tell you the Expos lineup. Jerry Royce, by the way, if you go back and watch the first video of this series, pitched the opening day for the Dodgers against the Giants. The lineup he'll face: Timmy Raines is in left field. He'll bat leadoff. Andre Dawson will bat second and play center field. Al Oliver, the first baseman, bats third. Gary Carter cleans up behind the plate. Timmy Wallach at third will bat fifth. Warren Cromartie, the right fielder, sixth. Chris Spire, the shortstop, the computer wanted him to bat second. I don't know why. Will bat seventh, and Doug Flynn, the second baseman, will bat eighth. Sanderson threw 12 pitches in the inning. Let's see. All right. So I will tell you Royce's sim numbers: 37 starts, a record of 19-9, with an ERA of 3.05. So he exceeded his real-life numbers. His whip is 1.150. And against the Expos, he went 2-1 on the replay with a 2.38 ERA in 3 starts. But the Expos hit him hard. 22 2/3 innings, 26 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 13. He is not a strikeout pitcher. In the real year, he struck out 138 and 254 2/3 innings. The defense behind him: Dusty Baker a 9 and a 5 in left, Kenny Landreau a 5 and a 3 in center, Pedro Guerrero a 4 and an 8 in right. His best position, as was said earlier this season, is DH. Ron Say, playing in for a bunt that's not going to happen, is a 6 at third. Bill Russell a 7 at short. Steve Sachs a 6 at second. Steve Garvey an 8 at first. And Sosha behind the plate, a 7 and a 5. Jerry Royce is an 8 on the mound. On the real year, Timmy Raines, 277, 4 homers, and 43 RBI. Royce delivers, and that's fouled back behind the plate. Rusty Staub, by the way, threw out the first pitch tonight. 2-2 the count. Royce delivers. Ground ball foul, third base side, and into Tommy Lasorda's dugout. So the count remains 2-2 to Raines. Royce delivers. Line drive, right field, base hit. And Montreal, it's sold out here. Raines is on with a single for Andre Dawson. On the real year, 301, not great against lefties. 23 homers and 83 RBI. Rob got soccer blast today, but got the wrong set. He'll make it right. Don't worry. So Raines on first, and they're going to hit and run with Dawson. Pitch from Royce. Runner goes. Ground ball to Garvey. Flips it to Jerry covering, and Raines goes to second. So 1 out, and Raines in scoring position for Al Oliver. 331, 22 homers, 109 RBI. So, remember, best of 5 in 1982 with the National League East starting. It was a divisional rotation in games 3, 4, and 5 in Los Angeles. Game 2 tomorrow at noon. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series from California tomorrow night at 7. Pitch to Oliver. Base hit right side. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Guerrero misplayed it. He waited late. Oliver is on second, and the Expos lead 1-0. And 60,000 people are on their feet. And the cat is creeping around. Here's Gary Carter, 293, 29 homers, and 97 RBI on the real year. Pitch to Carter. Ground ball to Garvey. Oliver goes to third. Garvey takes it to the bag himself, and there's an out. So 2 out for Wallach. No, I'm not cuddling with you. I'm busy. Wallach at 268, 28 homers, and 97 RBI. So Montreal draws first blood off of Royce. And remember, in games 1 and 2, the computer is the one that's going to make the decision on when to make the changes for the Dodgers. Pitch to Wallach. Little chopper up the middle. Russell with a late throw. Doesn't get Wallach. He got a late jump on it. And Carter scores. It's 2-0 Montreal. How about this for a start? And so Warren Cromartie, who did not hit lefties well at all at 208 clip in real life, 254, 14 homers, and 62 RBI. But you aren't benching him in a playoff game. Royce delivers. And there's a fly ball right center. Landreau is there. And that will retire the side, but not before Le Expos scores 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After 1, Expos 2, Dodgers nothing. As they talk about the weather. So Ron Say, Steve Garvey, and Bill Russell here in the second. Sanderson threw 12 pitches in the first as the cat decides that I'm not going to do what she wants me to do, and she's going to go pound the window. Say at 254, 24 homers, and 79 RBI. Randy's just outside Winter Haven, and Bobby's in Lakeland. So it's the Red Sox and Tigers from 85, right? Sanderson deals, and Say slaps out one up the middle. Dawson's going to dive, and he makes the catch. Ho, ho, ho! Andre Dawson slides on that turf. He'll trade Rugburn for an out. And there's one away for Garvey. At 282, 16 homers, and 86 RBI. Now the Cats, hold on a sec. Get out of there. You are